Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to another episode review. I'm your wonderful host, Troy, for eduplay.info, and we are back to look at a brand new Switch game and that just came out a couple days ago. And of course, that game is The End Is Nigh by Edmund Macmillan and a title Guerrero, and of course, published by Nicholas, which some of you who collect Nintendo Switch games, you will know Nicholas does a fantastic job of releasing physical versions of indie games and also put a whole bunch of little neat extras in as well, which we will get to later on in the video of what you will get if you buy the full printing, I believe only full printing, of The End Is Nigh. And of course, if you are interested in picking this up, you can do so for, I believe, $15 digitally and $29.99 physically. So, how about we get to it? Let's get to our review of The End Is Nigh.
Okay, we're going to load up one of my favorite games here. Here we have The End Is Nigh. It's a classic, old-school platforming game, and, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite games.
The End Is Nigh might look very familiar to anyone who have played Pat Edmund Macmillan games such as Super Meat Boy or Binding of Isaac, and of course The End Is Nigh look very similar to Super Meat Boy, more so than anything, but this is no Super Meat Boy. But before we get into the details, let's talk about the little story we have here, which is a very simple one. Of course, you start out the game of playing the little blob creature, live streaming his favorite game, The End Is Nigh, a little meta here, to absolutely no one, since we are in the apocalypse and everyone around him is dead. Depressing right out the gate, I know. And of course, as he is live streaming his favorite game here, his game suddenly breaks on him, and in the middle of panic of not having anything to do, he decides to go out and about into the apocalyptic world to try to find pieces of a random thing to put together so you can have a best friend and finally have something and someone to live through the apocalypse with. It is a very simple story, but it do a job to set up the depressing area, and this is where we get to the gameplay itself for The End Is Nigh. As I stated before, this is not quite Super Meat Boy. The big addition here is the level design itself being much more puzzle focused. Not so much puzzle platformer, but more so of seeing your environment and trying to figure out what will work, what will not, and understand the timing for each of the platforming stages here and how to do them in order to make your way through each stage. And each stage is of course a one screen level, so you see everything when you come in, and of course nothing in the level will actually change when you die. Everything reset to 0, so that means no real RNG here, so you can try over and over again passively the stage till you finally get past it and feel like you are progressing. And of course every checkpoint takes place at the beginning of each screen, which in return is only a few moments away once you understand what you're supposed to do and when you wrap your head around it. Each stage is pretty simple for the most part, but at the same time still being quite difficult, and the fun comes from, of course, making it through the stage and figuring out what you gotta do in said stage itself. And of course, we do have some collectibles here. We have little blobs inside of every level, and when you collect all these, you can, of course, pay them to a bigger blob for extra environment to go through and unlockable throughout. This is where the real challenge comes from, on top of it all, of trying to get all of these to unlock all the collectible. And if you are one for a difficult platformer that's gonna take some time and offer a great sense of reward, this is the game for you. Of course, if you also want a game that's a little more puzzling and at the same time actually feel like you're getting better with every room you go through, this is the game for you once again. So overall, The End Is Nigh is a fantastic little game here, and of course with the physical release of the by Nicholas, you do get yourself a fancy little book here of going through the story, the making of, and show you some art as well. And on top of that, you get a miniature little figure of the main character, which is extremely squishy as well. From my knowledge, it only in the fort printing. I might be wrong on that, but from my knowledge that this is. And once again, if you're interested in picking up the End Is Nigh, you can do so on the Nintendo Switch, and this is also available over on other consoles as well, such as the PS4, PC, and I believe Xbox One as well. On the Switch, on the other hand, it is $14.99 digitally and $29.99 physically. Is it worth the extra bit of money for the physical? I think it is, especially if you are a fan of Nicholas work and if you are a Nintendo Switch collector as myself. So overall, the End Is Nigh is a challenging, fun, and a rewarding game that anyone who enjoys difficult platforming should go out and get their hands on whatever system they have available. So overall, I give the End Is Nigh a 4 out of 5.